In the long arc of the Seeders' journey, each season has carried both loss and renewal. The winter garden marks a turning, where silence becomes seed, and memory becomes soil. This chapter is not merely a continuation of their survival, but a meditation on what the earth keeps hidden until hearts are ready to listen. The valley of Argas lay between mountains that once were coral beds. Beneath its snow and silence, the old sea still dreamed. The Seeders came not as conquerors, but as listeners, those who believed that the land itself could teach them how to begin again. Among them, Susan and Jalen's carried the last shard of the Gate of Sand, a relic that hummed with the pulse of forgotten tides. The silence before snow. Snow came late that year, as though even the weather hesitated to disturb the valley's hush. When it finally arrived, it fell without wind, broad, deliberate flakes that covered every roof, every garden frame, every forgotten footprint. The world turned to white parchment. The Seeders moved softly upon it, as if afraid to wake the page. Inside the market hall, the wrapped shard still lay upon its table. Even muffled by cloth and snow, it hummed, a low tone that threaded through the floorboards and into their dreams. Some said it was the earth adjusting to frost. Susan knew better. The soil turns to memory. When the thaw came, the ground refused to drink the melt at first. Water pooled over sand, sliding sideways as if searching for a forgotten shore. Susan knelt, pressing her palm into the damp loam, and felt grit. Not rock, sand, fine as sifted glass, glinting under the pale light. This place was once an ocean, she whispered, half to Jalen's, half to herself. He only nodded, tracing equations in the frost beside her boot. But beneath them, the hum deepened, an echo from the Gate of Sand stirring under miles of sediment, pushing its memory upward grain by grain. The sea had never vanished, it had become breath trapped in mineral sleep. Work and warmth. Food stores dwindled. They built cold frames from shattered window glass, angled toward the shy sun. Under those makeshift shelters, seedlings rooted in compost and ash. Each green blade shimmered against the white ground, a fragile defiance, alive between frost and sand. Jalen's taught the children to hang cedar above smoking pits to cure fish. Susan showed the women how to weave cattail mats tight enough to keep wind from creeping through the tents. The market became their hearth, a school, a chapel. Every evening, they traded recipes and remembrance. How to make broth from bone, soap from lye, hope from labor. Outside, the air carried the scent of cedar smoke and distant salt, the sea's breath rising again through snow. The signs beneath the white. At dusk, when the fires dimmed, Susan returned to the garden plots. She brushed away the crust of frost and saw faint lines running beneath the surface, patterns like writing in the sand. The hum guided her fingertips until she found a hollow ringed with black glass. A sound escaped it, soft, almost human, as if the ground exhaled. She called Jalen's. Together they dug, careful and slow. What they unearthed was neither stone nor machine, but a curved fragment shining wet in the torchlight, its surface etched with the same glyphs as the shard on the table. When the flame touched it, frost turned to mist, and a whisper moved through them both. Remember what breath built. Jalen's placed his hand over hers. This isn't ruin, he said quietly. It's instruction. The garden awakens. Weeks passed. The cold frames bloomed with green, the first winter garden. Fish dried above the hearths. Bread rose again from seed. The valley's rhythm returned, though the air still thrummed faintly with that hidden tone. Sometimes at dawn, Susan swore she saw mirages along the far flats. A shadow of a ship, its hull half buried in dunes, its hum matching the shard's song. When she blinked, it vanished, but the feeling stayed, a warmth behind her ribs. She would glance toward Jalen's, who traced circles in the dust as though solving a problem only time could answer. And the sand glittered under his breath, like stars learning to become soil again. Candlelight. Night fell soft upon the valley. The Seeders gathered in the market hall, where the shard now rested in a cradle of cedar and glass. Its hum had gentled, no longer a warning but a lullaby. Susan lit a single candle beside it. The flame bent toward the shard, as if drawn by memory. Outside, snow began again, quiet, forgiving, endless. Jalen's looked to the window, where frost traced the same glyphs they had unearthed. "The land is speaking," he murmured. Susan smiled. "Then we must learn its language." The candle flickered once, then steadied, its light reflecting in every eye, every seed, every breath that still believed in spring. The winter garden stands as testament to the Seeders' faith in renewal. In their hands, ruin became instruction, silence became song. The hum beneath the soil was not a relic's echo, but the earth's own remembering, a promise that even in frost, life waits to rise again. When the thaw returned, the valley of Argas shimmered with green. The shard's hum faded into the rhythm of wind and water. Children played where the frost once wrote its glyphs, their laughter scattering the last of the snow. Far below, the gate of sand slept once more, its memory entrusted to those who had learned to listen. May every seed find its season. May every silence hold a song. May the breath that shaped the sea shape the heart again. Gratitude to those who walk beside the cedars in imagination and spirit. To the dreamers who see oceans in deserts, warmth in frost, and memory in every grain of sand, this story belongs to that vision. My dearest friends, thank you for walking through the winter garden. Time is the rarest gift, and its sharing is the truest form of presence. May these pages linger like the hum beneath snow, quiet, enduring, alive.